A dangerous new chapter is emerging in the Middle East, marked by escalating tensions and a rapid buildup of military activity. The region, already volatile, is now witnessing a surge in conflict that threatens to destabilize the fragile balance of power. The US has dramatically ramped up its military force against Iran, deploying additional troops, advanced weaponry, and naval assets to the region. At the same time, Israel is launching heavy airstrikes on Beirut, specifically targeting Hezbollah strongholds and infrastructure, causing widespread destruction. This escalation signals a coordinated aggressive strategy by both allies, who are sharing intelligence and synchronizing their operations for maximum impact. US officials now report sinking over 30 Iranian ships in the Persian Gulf, a significant blow to Iran's naval capabilities. In addition, nearly 200 strategic targets inside Iran have been struck, crippling key military installations and supply lines. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth warns that the US is fully prepared for a prolonged and potentially expanding conflict, emphasizing the seriousness of the situation. The violence is now spilling into neighboring Gulf nations, Bahrain, Kuwait, and the UAE, putting not only US military bases, but also thousands of civilians at increased risk. The interconnectedness of the region means that a single attack can trigger a wider spiral of violence, drawing in more countries and actors. Years of deep mistrust and bitter rivalry have now erupted into direct confrontation, shattering hopes for diplomatic resolution. The US and Israel see Iran and Hezbollah as major threats to regional stability, while Iran views their military presence as a direct act of aggression. This is no longer a Cold War fought in the shadows. It's open conflict, drawing global attention and raising fears of a much larger war. The stakes for the entire Middle East have never been higher, as the world watches anxiously, hoping for de-escalation but bracing for further chaos. As violence escalates across the region, thousands of civilians are being forced to abandon their homes and everything they know. The roads are packed with desperate families, carrying only what they can, as they join long lines of cars snaking out of the city, smoke billowing in the distance. Traffic jams stretch for miles as people try to escape the growing danger. Families, young and old, are fleeing conflict zones, hoping to find safety across crowded borders. But uncertainty and fear follow them every step of the way. Many are forced to travel on foot, carrying their belongings through shattered streets and past the ruins of their neighborhoods. Explosions echo in the distance, a constant reminder of the danger they leave behind. Embassies are urgently evacuating their staff, and governments are scrambling to get their citizens out of Beirut and other hotspots. Airports are crowded with foreign nationals desperate to board the last flights out. Israeli airstrikes have devastated large parts of Beirut, trapping countless civilians under rubble, while missile attacks have struck Bahrain, Kuwait, and the UAE, spreading fear and chaos across the Middle East. The conflict is no longer contained to one area. Ordinary people across the region are now in grave danger. Many are forced to shelter in basements or makeshift camps, hoping to survive another night. Military operations now stretch from Lebanon all the way to the Persian Gulf. The presence of warships and fighter jets raises the risk of a catastrophic mistake as tensions continue to rise. Daily life has collapsed into fear and uncertainty for millions. Once busy streets are now deserted, shops are shuttered, and people wait in long lines for basic supplies, unsure of what tomorrow will bring. Families face impossible choices, whether to stay and risk their lives, or leave everything behind. Parents try to comfort their children, but the fear is impossible to hide as the power struggle widens. The humanitarian crisis is growing rapidly. Aid organizations are struggling to keep up as refugee camps overflow, and more people are displaced every day. Volunteers work tirelessly to provide food and shelter, but the need is overwhelming as the conflict expands. As bombs fall and cities tremble under the weight of conflict, nations scramble to protect their interests, racing against time to respond to rapidly changing events. China is negotiating with Iran, working tirelessly to keep vital oil tankers moving safely through the tense waters of the Persian Gulf, ensuring energy supplies for its booming economy. Meanwhile, the US has temporarily eased sanctions, allowing India to purchase stranded Russian oil. This move aims to stabilize global prices and prevent further economic shocks. These bold moves highlight how the conflict is forcing countries to make tough, sometimes risky, economic choices in a volatile environment. While the US and Israel engage on the battlefield, China and India maneuver diplomatically, seeking to shield their economies and maintain stability at home. The crisis is now fought with both weapons and trade deals, as nations balance military action with economic strategy. Military power and economic needs are now deeply intertwined, with every decision on the battlefield echoing through global markets. Alliances are shifting, and global strategies are being rewritten in real time as countries reassess their priorities and partnerships. What began as a regional clash is now reshaping international trade and diplomacy. leaving a lasting impact on the world order and the future of global cooperation. The conflict has sent oil prices soaring, hitting wallets worldwide and causing widespread concern. Disrupted shipping routes threaten global energy supplies, raising costs for everyone and straining economies. President Trump has declared he wants a say in Iran's next leader, escalating the crisis far beyond military strikes. This is now a direct challenge to Iran's sovereignty and national pride. The situation remains volatile, with no end in sight for the ongoing tensions. World leaders scramble for solutions, but powerful interests make de-escalation extremely difficult. As of March 6, 2026, the future is uncertain. Military actions continue, and Iran vows to respond forcefully. The world watches, hoping for peace but bracing for a wider, more devastating war.